Hello, Internet. It is I, Malik Aaron, and welcome back to the channel. Part 178. I. I don't know. I don't know what's happening anymore. Like, January, there was like nothing. Absolutely nothing. But February, I've just been getting constant cancel episodes. Like, I don't know why they chose February to do this. But yeah, and I've literally done this is the third one I've done this week. I haven't done that many at one time since I I don't even remember. It's been so long. It's crazy. And it's a Friday. You think everyone would just like stay home or something and just wait till like after the weekend's over to announce things because you think everyone would just be talking about Ant-Man 3. But no. No. Disney's like, "No, you're not just going to talk about Ant-Man 3. You're going to talk about the Marvels and to a lesser extent Haunted Mansion." 'Cause that's the big news that happened today. But and also my big fat Greek wedding 3 that's got a date now because that's the sequel we all truly needed, right? Right? So let's talk about all this. So let's talk about the big news. The news that really matters is that the Marvels got delayed by several months. It has been such a long time since I've talked about anything remotely negative when it comes to this series, but here we are. So instead of July 28th, it's going to be coming out November 10th. All right. So it's no longer a summer movie. It's now a holiday movie. Yeah, a holiday movie. So yeah. This like I was kind of surprised when I first found out about this. I was like, "Really?" Like I thought for sure like it would come out in July. I mean, sure the marketing campaign had had yet to start, but I thought it would start soon, like after Ant-Man 3. Like they would get to work on that. I mean, the first trailer for like Thor Love and Thunder came out like in late April and the movie was coming out in like earliest July. Like that was like less than 3 months and like I thought they would do something similar here, but I guess not. So, yeah, but this change got me thinking, like, what was the possible reason behind this? Because the last time this movie got delayed, it was when, like, the Marvels and Ant-Man 3, like, their dates changed to where originally the Marvels was supposed to come out this weekend and Ant-Man 3 was supposed to come out in July, but then they got swapped. So Ant-Man 3 is now in February and the Marvels in July is because Ant-Man 3 was further in production than the Marvels, so they wanted to release that first. And I'm like, okay, that makes sense. That's logical. But there's no real explanation, but I thought of something. It's a little bit of doom and gloom, but I was thinking, all right, the reason they're probably doing this is because of one thing and one thing only. Reshoots. I mean, what else could it be? Like, yeah, and I think it's reshoots. It's the only answer I got. And obviously, like reshoots. I mean, reshoots are they're pretty normal in the realm of movies. Like, obviously, you might want to like redo some shots and whatnot. But when you hear extensive reshoots, like those two words together, extensive reshoots, that should be an immediate red flag that something is wrong with the movie because what happens is that the studio realizes, oh man, our movie sucks. We gotta fix this. But what ends up happening is that they make it worse, and the whole thing is just a big old shit show. And this has happened many times in when it comes to movies, and a lot of superhero movies have gone through this. Fan Stick went through this. Suicide Squad, Justice League, Dark Phoenix, they've all went through this. It has not been pretty. But yeah, that's the only reason I got. And I'm not exactly excited about this. I mean, like, this is the sequel to Captain Marvel, a movie I thought was super duper mid when it came out in 2019. And this is also supposed to be like a follow up to like the Disney Plus show, Miss Marvel, and it's also supposed to have Monica Rambeau from WandaVision, and like this whole thing just feels like a mess. It feels like a train wreck just waiting to happen, and they're just delaying. Like Disney's delaying the inevitable. They're just delaying it as much as they can before they realize, okay, let's just get this over with, and they just accept doom and gloom. But yeah, for any all three of you out there who were interested in this movie, sorry, you're gonna have to wait several months more. So yeah, so that was the big thing, by far and away the big thing. But now it's coming out. Its new date. Yeah, this was like the last time I talked about it with Ant-Man 3. It's new date. It's gonna be the weekend after Dune Part 2 and the weekend before Hunger Games: Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. So at least November has a bit more oomph to it than it originally did. Because I know Blade was supposed to come out in November, but then the director left, and so they pushed production back, and it was gone to 2024. It went. So now we still have three Marvel movies coming out this year, except they're going to be a more spread out than initially planned. So yeah. And the next thing Disney related is the Haunted Mansion movie. It was supposed to come out August 11th, but that's been changed. It went up 2 weeks. It got pushed up by 2 weeks to the Marvel's old date of July 28th. So there's that, I guess. Um, I have no thoughts on this movie. I mean, I know this is like the second Haunted Mansion movie. They mentioned this, the Haunted Mansion from 2003 with Eddie Murphy. I heard that movie was really bad. I don't think this movie's gonna be much better, honestly. We have yet to really see it. I mean, the cast is pretty great. I mean, look at all these names. That's a nice cast right there. Although a little strange to see Jared Leto's in this movie. Okay. All right. I mean, I guess we'll have to wait and see what the trailer looks like, but I'm not like super duper optimistic about it. But we'll see. We'll see. But yeah, that's the big news. We're revolving around two Disney movies. One being delayed and one being moved up. And then last and certainly least, my Big Fat Greek Wedding 3 has a date, September 8th. So yeah, it's coming out the same weekend as The Nun 2. Two sequels that have no right to exist. How poetic. And like I don't understand why they would want to make another one of these movies. I get the first My Big Fat Greek Wedding was a huge hit for it was like the biggest movie ever to never hit number 1 at the box office domestically, but that changed. I think Sing was able to beat it. But yeah, it made a lot the original made a lot of money, and then like for 14 years later, they make My Big Fat Greek Wedding 2, which did made nowhere near as good as the first, but still did all right. And you think that would be the end of it. It would be over. But no, they're like, no, the story must go on. We must continue the saga and make this a trilogy. And now we're here. I mean, the only good thing is that it gives 2023 more movies, and I've been saying like you need more movies because the more movies you have, the more money can be spread around. All right, the more it can help theaters and studios, and everyone would win if there was more product. Because that was a big problem. The big problem the last 2 years is a lack of product. We've had way too many dead weekends the last 2 years. Like we can't afford that. So this definitely solves that issue. I just wish it was a movie that wasn't this, but you know what? Sometimes you gotta take what you can get. So yeah, and it explains here like the history of My Big Fat Greek Wedding 2002, and then the sequel in 2016, and yeah, now we're here. Um, And that's really it. That's all that happened today. It was a very eventful day, something I didn't quite expect. But hey, that's canceled for you. That's this series. So yeah, that's it. So let's play that game. What will happen next? I predicted everything I talked about in this video. I never would have predicted at all because it felt like nothing would change, but then it did change, and I'm like, oh shit. Well, all right. So let's go through the calendar. February, it's nearly over at this point, so like it's no point in talking about it. I mean, Ant-Man 3 just came out today, or yesterday, technically. Yeah, the rest of February, March, Operation Fortune, I saw an ad for it. I was kind of shocked. I thought they were just going to bury the movie and just barely promote it, but they're giving it ads, which is something. They're not, they're kind of trying, so there's that. But yeah, the rest of March, um, rest of April, I really don't see anything changing. Like nothing really seems. I don't see too many red flags here. Really, any red flags. Same goes for May. Nothing should change. Pretty much all these movies more or less have started their ad campaigns, so should be fine. In June, same thing pretty much. Uh, July, same thing. Well, the Marvels, we can forget about that. Um, no, the Haunted Mansion's coming out July 28th. So really, the end of summer is going to be between Barbie and Oppenheimer, which is going to be an interesting battle to say the least. But yeah, yeah, that definitely that takes quite a bit out of July to remove the Marvels, even though that movie was kind of like a commercial question mark. But yeah, and then you got August. No, the Haunted Mansion, as you know, is already in July, so we can ignore that. August is like whatever. September, same thing. October, same thing. Now we have November. The Marvels is sandwiched in between Dune Part 2 and Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, so there's that. Then you got December, a bunch of movies that, well, we now know My Big Fat Greek Wedding 3 is now in September, so that exists now. The rest, no, they do not exist. At the moment, I mean, they technically do, but they really don't. Okay, they're in the ether. And then you got 2024, January, the February, the March, April, May, June, July, blah 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 blah. We've gone over this. Uh yeah, and yeah. That's yeah. And there's the How to Train a Dragon the live action version for March. The only 2020 March 2025 movie at the moment, but obviously that's going to change in like a year or so. But yeah. Yeah, that's what the next 2 years look like. So yeah, that's it. That's all. Make sure to subscribe, like this video, leave a comment, turn notifications, share the whole drill. You want to check out more cancel episodes? There's now, well, including this one, there's now 178. So yeah, plenty to choose from. So if you want to you want to binge them all from beginning to now, I highly encourage you do that. You do that, so go do it. There's also box office predictions where I predict box office for movies. Later tonight, I'm gonna do Marlowe and then the movie that actually matters, Ant-Man 3 or Ant-Man the Wasp Quantumania. I have quite a bit to say about that. I haven't seen the movie yet, but I have a lot to say about everything that's been going on with it. So stay tuned for those two prediction videos. But if you want to watch any of the past prediction videos I made this year and the other years I've been doing this, you can go right ahead. There's also box office recaps where I go over the box office results for any particular month. I finally published my January 2023 recap earlier today, or at least a little earlier today by like I don't know, an hour or so, I think. An hour or so ago. And my February recap will come out about the first week of March, hopefully. We'll see. But yeah, and yeah, so if you want to watch that recap video, January one, or any other recap videos I've done on the channel, you can go right ahead. And yeah, that's it. That's all. I am out. Goodbye.